In our last couple of minutes, I wanted to ask you one more question about your kind of philosophy with camera movement. I had read in an article that you're not really a fan of unmotivated camera movement. You're pretty specific about using it when absolutely necessary. Talk to me about that.
I mean, it's just sometimes I watch movies and I'm in a scene and then suddenly the camera starts rotating or drifting in, and I become conscious of it, and it distracts me. I mean, it can be a nice move and the composition is maintained, but I'm like, why are they moving? Like, why is this moving right now? And then I like movement. I mean, I use a lot of Steadicam. I'm always on a slider. I'm always on track. But it's got to either be motivated by a dramatic beat. Like, I love little push-ins, but at the right speed, at the right moment, and where you don't really notice it, or an actor's moving a certain way and I'll move or counter to meet him, or, I just like not to really, I mean, now there are, exceptions where you want to make a statement with a camera move.
Yeah.
Scorsese does it all the time. Spike Lee does it all the time. You do some pretty expressionistic camera movements. But in general, I mean, like Nebraska feels like a very static show. It probably has a lot of movement. I mean, there's, the subtle, pieces of track, dance floor, sliders. But, they're subtle. And often, as I go down to something and come back up, I will have moved and I find myself in a different position, or I'll create an over two shot that was, just a single before, and you won't really notice that happen. That in combination with how you move the actors. So that's always something we're looking for. Mangold is very good with that as well. Again, I don't like shooting wide and tights at the same time. Like, I feel like if we go close,
how do you mean?
I want to
mean
be
at the same
physically
time?
close and stay on the same lens. So we don't really run, like a wide shot. And then, okay, let's also, directors ask me that. I mean, Aaron likes long lenses. I go, he didn't even probably realize like we didn't really shoot long lenses, because I still get, with this anamorphic expander, I still get these strong close-ups, but sometimes I'm sure he asked me, can't we get this? I'm like, no, let's get these two wider shots and then let's get physically move in and get the two closer shots. I mean, which is something that we do with Mangold all the time, because I feel like it's just a different emotional message and a different connection to the performance, and the audience will feel it. This is not just, throw on 100 and while we're at it, grab this close up.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like the longer lens makes you feel like you're watching a person.
Yeah.
The wider lens makes you feel like you're with a person. And I think that's
we're always trying to be with a person,
Yeah.
The races were not covered like that. This action is not covered like that. I want to feel like, I'm part of, I'm sitting on that defendant's bench and I'm sitting in the witness stand. And when I look over to the judge, he's like right there, and I don't want to play it from the audience perspective and, across the floor. And, I'm not interested in that. I do, but again, like every story requires a different, it's just, these two stories, again, I'm comparing Ford versus Ferrari to Chicago 7, which are completely different films. But
sure,
again, it's about characters. It's about, emotional connectivity, working together as a team. So it has similar themes. So therefore, I felt like the lensing is kind of similar.